All right, green-black company. Don't be fooled by Magic Arena's bad outlining of letters. There are 4 collected companies here in this deck. Collected company, very powerful card, 4 mana, instant here. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. Put 2 creatures from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest of the bottom of your library in any order. In order to maximize this card, generally speaking, you want a critical mass of 3 mana cards in your deck. So if you look at our curve here, we've got 12, 16 kind of chunky 3 mana creatures, because ideally we want to pay 4 mana for this collected company, and we want to put 6, or maybe with Scavenging Ooze, 5 mana worth of creatures into play. You could also, I'm not 100% sold on this mix of stuff. Prowling Snow Leopard and Rhonas were things other people had recommended. It's very possible we should just have, like, Yorvo in here. It's very possible that, like, Knight of the Ebon Legion is a card that's not particularly castable. We only have 10 black sources plus Paradise Druid. The idea is, though, that, like, as you go long, this is a good card to dump mana into, in addition to Rhonas giving you a way to dump mana into. Another thing to consider is it's possible that, like, Paradise Druid or maybe even a Boreal Grazer as additional mana dorks would be nice to play in this deck. We think of adding green-black cycle lands. I think we're only on 22 lands, right? Yeah, my land count's pretty low, and this deck's intended to be aggressive. So, like, there's a reason why I'm not, like, playing any temples, right? So, I think I would like to start with lands that are mostly untapped and go from there. Additional mana dorks is something I'm going to want to consider, though. Do we want different basics? I can put one of those basics in. Hopefully at some point, Arena's an application that can remember my basic selection would be nice. Beansy is officially our first Shillionaire, Jin. You know what they say, the first Shillion is the hardest. It's all easy from there. Sure. Pelt Collector, Paradise Druid Collected Company. 1, 2, 3. It's just curvamentary. What could it be? Can someone collect Shillionaire multiple times? Sure, theoretically. Yeah, I agree with that assessment, Shaquan. I think a lot of the people that push cancel culture as being this big scary thing that the libs are coming to get you with is because these are people who have previously speaking been in positions of power that are not used to having accountability for their actions. Pretty good start in game 1 here. Turn 3, we have 11, 15, 17 power in play. Dear opponent, please don't wrath me. Garrick's Harbinger here, 4/3 for 3, hexproof from black. Deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker. Look at that many cards from the top of your deck, and then get a creature or planeswalker from among them, which is nice. I think I'm okay with them eating Paradise Druid if they want to, right? Like, want to put 2 Scavenging Oozes into play. Alright, so opponent playing some kind of, like, Angels mid-range deck? Drew, thanks for 27 months. Welcome back. Tefreless, historic indeed. Am I just clicking submit here? I don't really have stuff in my sideboard for the creature matchups, which might be a mistake. I think I'm just shipping it. Alright, we're gonna draw basic Forest on one, and this hand's gonna be awesome. Wrong basic deck, wrong basic. There are this many swamps in my deck, chat. This many swamps. Nothing to see here. No plays. Just very unlucky. 6 cards in hand. Can't cast a spell. Wow, are they triggering Resplendent Angel on turn 4? It's pretty impressive. I think we're dead, right? There's a good chance this deck's not interactive enough. We're gonna need to adjust that. We're basically just like hoping to run people down and see if it's good enough. Yeah, Snow Leopard's probably silly. Snow Leopard is probably not necessary. Maybe I'm supposed to play Rhonas there? Although I guess playing Rhonas after means that I get to put triggers on Pelt Collector, which is nice. Yeah, and again here, like, this Pride Maid's just about to be huge. Want to draw, like, a land or... Wants to draw a land or a 1-drop next turn, so we can go Rotting Regisaur plus a card we play and don't have to discard. Yeah, Rhonas is Death Touch at least. Yeah, and like I'm not even sure that we could really win from this position, right? Because like we can't go wide enough around this. They're just gonna gain so much life with these Soul Wardens. So, like, we can kind of, like, sit here and stare at each other for a little bit, but I don't have... Like, I don't have a breaker that I'm drawing to here, right? Like, it just isn't in my deck. Yeah, we're just gonna, like, stare at each other awkwardly until they can go wide enough around us and kill us. Hey, good games, Paladin. Paladin. Why would Allosaurus Shepherd be good there? Having a bunch of 5/5s doesn't break that board. Yeah, I could play like... Rhonas seems good. Kind of like him. Like, I don't have enough black sources to play, like, Murderous Rider or anything like that. I could play something like Eliminate, I guess. But, like, for Murderous Rider, I need closer to, like, 15 black sources or so. I don't think 32 hits is meaningful. So, like, here's the thing, chat. This is the thing that a lot of people don't understand. If I go down to 30 creatures in my deck, and 6 of them are these, that's not 30 creatures. That's 24 creatures. And even some of those are still like, eh. Like, so many people, when they do collected company math, they count these as meaningful hits. And, like, I actually think this is one of the reasons why the Citadel deck that's been going around is so powerful, is because that deck is interested in ramping, mana dorks actually are meaningful hits. But in a deck like this, we aren't interested in getting mana dorks once we can cast Collected Company. Like, we're not doing anything meaningful with them. I don't think there's anything super meaningful with Death Touch we can get to break big things. Even some of the ones they are just like, there's not good quality things. Alright. Johnny's Pride Mate is not really a deck that's super popular in the format. Let's play a couple more matches and get a feel for it. There's a good chance this is just not linear enough, and we also are too restricted to be able to make it interactive enough to be good. Not every deck idea can work. Bottom the Harbinger here. We'll go Llanowar Elf into Pelt Collector Paradise Druid. And then we can Collected Company on 3 even if we miss our land drop, which is nice. See, I think the crazy top right corner is what makes the board. I think it's fantastic. Yeah, Plague Crafter doesn't seem like again, think back to the game I just played and tell me that Plague Crafter's a useful card there. Hint, it wasn't, or wouldn't have been. See, again, mana dorks, not really hits, chat. This thing can give trample, which is nice. This is part of that question, right? Like, so they're making what? 4 zombies here? 6 zombies? So, like, they're still at 16? I just, like, never win from this spot, right? So Rhonas can pump this at least so it can attack. Rhonas giving Knight of the Ebon Legion trample when we have 6 mana is something that's relevant. That's a cute thought. I like where Wiggins' head is at. Orkin Assassin. That could be a card worth playing. I just want Pelt Collector for Brain Maggot. I may need the pressure from that. Scavenging Ooze, maybe? Let's trim Knight. So again, like, it's very easy to be a typical Twitch chatter Magic Redditor and, like, watch that game and be like, oh my god, Field of the Dead is so busted, ban it, my shitty deck can't beat it. But, like, we've been sitting here talking about how bad our deck is and how it misses in so many ways, most likely. Like, our deck isn't good even without Field of the Dead, chat. Like, a lot of these decks that Field of the Dead devours, just like, the decks that aren't competitive against Field just aren't competitive in general for the most part. The decks that feel reasonable in this format are reasonable in part because they have flexible answers for things like Field of the Dead. It's very easy to, like, take the low effort take 2 and, like, look at Field of the Dead winning the tournament this past weekend whilst completely ignoring the fact that, you know, the red-black aggro deck had a better win rate in the tournament overall. Redback Pyro seems to have a decent field matchup. It depends on if you get Ugin. I think you're good against the Field of the Dead part. You're really not good against the Ugin part. Someone else mentioned Champion of Lambholt. Does that card have evasion? I'm not remembering the text of that card. Creature with power less than its power. Creatures with power less than Lambholt's power can't block creatures you control. Huh. That could be what we're looking for. I guess that could be a card for the Field of the Dead matchup. That could explicitly be a card for the Field of the Dead matchup. I don't know that it's a good card in, like, I don't know that it, like, solves the problem of, like, our opponent having a big thing. I guess if they don't have multiple big things, we can kind of go wide around it. Maybe we could try that. The Garrick, what's it called, hasn't been super impressive. Hitting with the 4-3 for 3 has not been something we're doing consistently. Icy Ice, thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Oops, shocked by mistake and skipped my combat step. Very unlucky. Can't make any plays. What's up, dude? He's probably not logged into my account. Alright, let's do this and see what they have going on. We'll, like, play a 3-drop this turn, too. Just try and clear the way here. One of these things is not like the others. I'm not gonna be done working for a while, bud. Ask Mom if you need help. She can help you. Their hand has a lot of promise. You're not wrong. This gives trample. So, like, they're gonna hour. If this, we kind of want this to be a spell, so that way they can't hour plus play another land. Okay. Oh, that's a land they already had. That's actually a pretty big sequencing mistake, huh? Wait, what? Oh, oh, opponent. Oh, opponent. Creatures with power less than champion's power can't block creatures you control. Let's try this. That doesn't seem unreasonable. I don't hate it. If you hit champion and another creature off company, does it trigger at the same time? I don't. Does it? Does that count? I guess we'll find out. Chat seems pretty sure, so we're about a coin flip. I think Maggot tends to be a pretty good company hit. Why do you think Maggot's not a good... Like, in a match where I want a discard spell, Maggot's a fine company hit. That's a good hit. Opponent is ranked 24, so likely tryharding here. Ask mommy, she will help you with the Minecraft, bud.
One Ebon. Ask mommy.
Alright, so I think I'm just pumping this and smacking them. There's a chance we get Languished next turn anyways, so... If we don't get Languished, we'll be in a good spot.
Big one, a big one. Tommy, big one, a big roll.
They have lots of ways to bounce or kill. It sounds like you don't understand why the card's good, Wargy. Like, the card's explicitly good because it taxes your opponent's removal spell. Like, making your opponent spend a removal spell on your 1/1. Hey, buddy, I love you. We can hang out when I'm done working, okay? If you need help with the Minecraft, bring the Switch in here. Okay. So, if they have Hour of Promise, they're going to trigger this turn. Honestly, it might have been right to play Steel Leaf Champion, because Champion dodges the, Champion doesn't care about the tokens. They're still 2 cards off of Escaping Uro here, which is nice. Okay, so Cultivate gives them a zombie. Hey, thanks for the 15 months, Dusk. Welcome back. Champion of Lambholt could potentially give us lethal next turn, right? If we find it. If we find, like, Champion plus Regisaur, and then we company into 2 more things. It doesn't dodge Heartless Act in response. This is a trigger they can respond to. I'm just trading Scooz for Brain Maggot here. Scooz is like kind of okay against Uro, but I feel like I just want to kill them before escaping Uro is relevant. Like, by the time they're getting around to escaping Uro, we're probably losing the game regardless. Is Eternal Witness too powerful for Historic? No, I don't think so at all. I think that would actually be a sweet addition to the format. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that one. Yeah, I would really love a Vendilion Click moved pretty high up my list of wants for Historic. I feel like Eternal Witness is what I'd put on there now too, thinking about it. I feel like I should just like think back through all the cards I always loved casting in Modern over the years, and just like those are the cards I want added to Historic. Give me my favorite like sweet 3, 4, 5 mana cards. How do you delete worlds? Go into the settings, and then you'll be able to go down a checklist and check them all off and delete. Kiki Cord coming soon to Historic near you, right? This is where the magic happens, chat. Alright, we'll try one or two more, but probably not going to spend a whole lot more time on this one. Yeah, Huntmaster's high on mine too. There's basically like, honestly, there's so many cards I love out of Innistrad block. I really hope they just give us an Innistrad remastered. Innistrad is widely accepted as one of the best limited formats of all time too, so I feel like they could make a good amount of dollars pushing that as a draft format. You know, honestly, I think Snapcaster Mage is probably a fine addition to this format, so long as things like Lightning Bolt and Path to Exile aren't added. Yeah, things like looting would need to stay out. Like, looting is no good, but I honestly think, like, Snapcaster Mage and, like, Liliana the Veil would probably be okay additions. I could see those being fine. Without things like Ponder or Brainstorm or Lightning Bolt or Path to Exile, like, I think Snapcaster's probably a fine power level. Yeah, like Snapcaster's power level directly scales with the other spells that you play with it. We did, Juka. Cryptic Command. I don't know that Cryptic Command would be one that I would want. Cryptic, one of the reasons why Cryptic Command is good is because one of its modes is fog your board, draw a card, and I don't know that I necessarily want more fogs in this format. Oh gosh, yeah, Garruk Relentless. I think Garruk Relentless might be one of my favorite Planeswalker designs of all time. If you're not a paper boomer, you should look that one up. It's fantastic. Creature lands are not from Innistrad, no. Gosh, I feel like if you wanted to ladder up and you played red-black aggro, you would just rank up so quickly. There's been so much Sultai Field today. And the red aggressive deck just devours it. I think I'm just going to activate this and then cast the other one here.
Yeah.
Hello, girls.
And it's been a while since chat has gotten to see a princess.
It's a while. Hello, baby girl. How are you doing today? Look at you holding your head up. Who's huge? Isn't she huge, chat?
She's got princess ballerinas on her outfit.
She's 2 months old. You're more than 2 months old? That's true.
2 months plus 3 days.
You gonna be crawling soon? Rolling over? Well, that's just rude, opponent.
Declan's a really good commentator on your Magic playing.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't see my tweets?
Nick said he can't do the next Oglandia Open, so maybe we'll have to have Declan sub in.
That'd be great.
You can't tell, baby girl, but there's cop pictures of you in chat right now. You're being so good. You must be well fed. Do they just miss on an Elvish Rejuvenator? That's great. I'm gonna go ahead and offer this trade here. Just grow the Scavenging Ooze. Matt hasn't played Magic in a long time. Our opponent is very unlucky, baby girl. That's just how your dad likes them. Very unlucky.
Declan said you're just bad at the game.
I mean, Declan's not wrong. I remember midstream diaper changes before Haley. It's wild watching your family grow up. It has been. They used to watch your brothers on stream. When they were as little as you.
Declan suggested you should play the stronger cards.
You should play the stronger cards?
Your cards weren't strong enough.
In a way, he's not wrong. I guess playing the other Scoos out last turn would have played around my opponent having a blocker here.
Should we hold Hoots commenting auditions?
Alright, so Regisaur's lethal, right? Because now Pelt Collector's a 3-3. Thanks, Juka. I think she's pretty great. You're being so good. So I think we're just boarding like we did last time. I guess Scoo's kind of okay there. Knight's good too, though. I definitely want Brain Maggot in. Maybe I give up... Nah, I was gonna say, maybe I give up Paradise Druid, but like Druid helps cast Brain Maggot in some situations. Yeah, I'm just gonna cut the Scoozes still, see how that feels. We should get Shroud to commentate. That's a little outside the Hooglandia budget. A little bit outside the budget.
The budget is $0, Haley. $0.
Need some corporate backing, don't you think? Gotta get one of them esports. We need one esports, please. Esports, please.
Hi. I know you want to smile. Do it. Do it, do it, do it. There it is.
Could chat see it? Chat couldn't see it, Haley. Are you gonna smile? Are you gonna smile?
You're talking to...
Oh, I probably got just RMDX and...
RTX.
Yeah.
Alright, we've got Lambholt here. So we'll get to see how that goes. As much as I appreciate people who are sub-tier and the open winners are great, having people that I don't know, at least semi-personally, or who aren't other large creators, having them be able to say whatever they want on my stream. Like, people keep talking about player interviews and stuff like that, but like, that's a good way to add liability to your Twitch channel. If you have someone come on that you don't really know well and they like say a bunch of offensive or racist or other types of stuff like that while you're live, it's not a good look. I'm gonna be greedy and try and draw the lands here, I think. Think we should be greedy, baby girl? We're gonna draw the swamp and be sad?
Haley, look at this card. It's in pieces. Are you gonna do that to all the cards someday?
She's so happy about Teferi being in pieces.
I mean, she is my daughter.
Hi. So cute. You baby cute. Baby cute. This isn't enough.
Haley, could you smile for Twitch chat? Give Twitch chat a smile.
Hi. What are you doing? That was cute.
Now I want to go back to the baby cam. It's way more interesting than the game. Alright, that's a wrap. Oh, maybe I'm supposed to bring in the Midnight Reapers if the Sultai deck's going to be all sweepers. Although I guess Midnight Reaper's not even a good plan if they're on, if two other sweepers are Extinction Event. That's not particularly useful.
Just gonna figure out this camera. Don't worry. Sorry for the ride.
You need to just do it like that. You're good, you had it.
Hi.
Alright, let's do it. Turn two Dumb Dino, champ. On the play. I mean, she is pretty great. Practice responsible procreation, though. She's also expensive. We love you, though. Even if you're expensive.
Yeah, our kids definitely take after Jeff's hairline for the first couple years.
Any of your fathers here? Yeah, so like, people have asked about adding stuff like deck text though, but like, we're not like a paper boomer coverage stream, right? Like, people talk about adding those things, but like, those types of things paper coverage fit into their downtime, which we don't have. Like, when are we gonna play a deck tech on the Hoaglandia stream? Like, go back and like, watch how little downtime we had over the weekend. It's basically non-existent. Please concede. Please concede.
If they don't concede, do you lose?
Good chance.
Well, then why would they concede?
Yes! Yes! Winner! Because they were dead. I had 15, 18, 19, some amount of power in play. They were dead. We got him, baby girl. We got him. You think your father's loud? Say no.
Hi. Hi.
Big Dino go bink. You like looking up at your mom? Yeah, exactly. Like deck tech style content is stuff that like you can go watch on random YouTube channels at any point.
Hi.
We'll lead on Pelt Collector here, so if we draw a 2-drop on 2, we can pump it up the jam.
All done with the smiles.
Wow, she took your baby cam away, Haley. Are you gonna tolerate that? Mom, they liked my close-up. I might pretend, I don't think I've ever done that while she's on stream before. I might pretend to make her say things because they can't talk. She can't talk yet. And I might have conversations with myself with her. She's very sarcastic to me. Psycho, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome to Hooglandia. This is tough. Champion gets more value the sooner I get it into play. However, like getting Paradise Druid into play so I can collect a company next turn also has a lot of upside. Just aim to do 10 rounds in less time with each open. Yep. Getting personalities of players more. So, like, the problem with that, Cold Shoulder, and again, this kind of goes back to, like, what the goal of my tournament is. If you're trying to create personalities for players, you can't really justify covering a range of people on the thing, right? Because, like, and I know that that's, like, what paper boomer tournaments have done. They, like, try to create brands for players, but, like, I'm more interested... The purposes of our coverage, I'm more interested in covering a range of decks than I am in covering a range of players, if that makes sense. Sounds good, Psycho. Hope you're staying safe out there. Alright, let's see if Lambholt gets a token here, huh? Twitch chat said it would. Oh, Twitch chat got it right. Look at that. They were right, Haley. Mark your calendar.
Wait, does every mod on desktop have the buttons?
I think you have to add those.
Oh, that's how people are faster to timeout than me, because I have to click on a person and then find the timeout option.
Yeah, it's super quick. Bing, bang. Bing, bang, boom. Bing, bang, boom. These are quick timeouts. Okay. I love you, baby girl, even if your mom's stealing you.
Want to say bye-bye to Twitch chat? Haley wants to say bye. One more close up. Say bye. See you later.
Good job holding your head up. So... Creatures with power less than this can't block creatures you control. So neither of those can block, so they're dead. Champion looking good. Yeah, that was kind of impressive. I remember when this card was standard legal, it got played with token decks, right? Is what this card... I think I remember this card seeing some play in standard in token shells. Am I going crazy, or was that real? Tokens and sometimes humans. Okay. Well, so, like, you're gonna get cons block in Historic, mommy. So, like, I talk a lot about wanting Innistrad to be added to this platform and format because we're not guaranteed to get Innistrad because Innistrad isn't included in Pioneer. So, like, I agree, there's a lot of awesome, sweet cards in cons, but, like, we're guaranteed to get those at some point. In fact, a lot of them we're probably going to get this fall when Pioneer Masters happens. Speaking of, as someone who's an adult who coordinates running tournaments, do we know any details about Pioneer Remastered yet? Because obviously I'm going to want to schedule tournaments around the release of that. So, like, do we even have the Vegas? It's just like this year is all we know, right? That is, Pioneer cards is coming for January. Okay. See, I actually think Delver would be a phenomenal addition. Delver has never been overbearing in a format that does not include Ponder. Misclicked. Accidentally skipped my combat. 3 cards in hand, no plays. Very unlucky. These like mostly sorcery speed decks, but otherwise playing Collected Company are like always so funny on turns like this. It's just like, well, nothing to see here. Definitely don't have a thing to play. So, like Amosh, if you weren't here earlier, I actually said, Cool Stuff Inc. approved prize support for 2 opens next month. So I think with standard rotation coming, we are actually going to do standard one weekend and then historic the following weekend, I think is going to be the plan. I think the list of cards, if you said, Jeff, we're doing Innistrad Remastered, what cards do you not want to see? I think my list of cards that I wouldn't include from Innistrad block into Historic are Faithless Looting, Thought Scour, Cavern of Souls, and Gristlebrand. Honestly, I think Snapcaster Mage and Liliana the Veil might actually be okay. There's a good chance that those are fine. Cavern sucks. Thought Scour makes Delve cards too good, and we're gonna get Delve cards. I don't want to deal with Gurmag Angler and Thought Scour. Thought Scour is also a card that pushes Snapcaster Mage to be better. And I think the only way we possibly could get Snapcaster Mage was if we keep the busted 1-mana spells not legal. I think Dimir Inverter will be legal in Historic. No, it shouldn't be. There's no reason for them to print cards in Pioneer Masters that are banned in Pioneer. And remember, they're not going to introduce Pioneer to this format, introducing one block at a time. They're going to do big chunks of Pioneer cards from lots of different sets and a couple of Pioneer Master style sets. Let me be blunt about the capitalism, predatory perspective of what Magic Arena is. Anybody who thinks Pioneer Masters is going to be affordable or cheap to collect in its entirety, you're going to be real sad. That set is going to be incredibly expensive, and that's a feature, it's not a bug. I think I want to play this Collected Company around Censor. So I'm going to play this Lambholt out. It'll take more or less than AKR, potentially more depending on how many rares are in it.
Right. You know what? I'm not done. Stop that.
You know what? That was a mistake. I should have eaten 2 cards out of their bin.
Keep up the pace.
Yeah, I agree with Gengar. That is exactly what I expect it to be. I think we're dead at this point. I concede. I agree. We are in garbage time. Who won the sweetest deck for Hoots? For one of them, we picked New Perspectives combo. I'm not sure which deck Nick picked. Usually each commentator picks one. That's how we've been doing it. Even blue-white control cast Wrath of God on turn 3, chat. Do the burrito prizes for 3-2? They do. Again, the goal of the Hoaglandia tournament is to have a sweet community run event, not something that's hugely spike focused. So I think we actually ended up giving out, I think when all is said and done, we'll have seven 3-2 door prizes. Alright, sweet babe. Collected Company. Had they not been chosen yet? Christy will message people. I'm not sure if she has or not, Sticky. Usually she posts something in the thing. Bob picked his. Kyle Brennan playing Jeskai Drakehaven is the other person that got the Sweetest Deck award from Nick's pick. Let's try one more. I don't know. This feels okay. This is like a pretty typical low player agency, play my creatures, hope my opponent doesn't have the thing deck. The addition of Champion of Lambholt makes this deck seem fine as a way to attack through board states. The gameplay on it's not particularly engaging or interesting in my opinion, but it doesn't seem underpowered necessarily. Getting to go elf into smack people. Regisaur draws, elf Regisaur draws are good. Collected Company into 10 plus power is okay. After this match is done, we're going to wrap up today playing a little bit of Rune Terror. We're going to play some Twisted Fizz over there. I am going to be taking tomorrow off, by the way. For folks who are my regulars. I'm going to recharge a little bit. I have not played Fall Guys. Chrissy has played a little bit with the kids, though. Okay. Seems like a neat suggestion, Ace Tiger. Playing Growth Chamber Guardian, because it's a hit. It gives you something else to do with your mana. Kind of into that. We're high enough on the ladder chat that we're starting to get paired into top 1,200 people. I think I might try. So, like, in previous seasons, I, like, concede to people that are close to making the cut at the end of the month. But I think I might, if it looks like we might oops into it, I might try and finish top 1,200 this month towards the end. We'll see where we end up at. I'm not going to stress out, like, too much about it. But the tournament that you qualify for this month and the last 2 months is actually historic. So normally I'm not super interested in playing Standard, except right when the format's brand new, but historic sounds appealing. They have to earn their place. This is my surprise face that someone that made that comment was a gift sub. They have to earn it. Magic's a strategical, skill-based game with no variance. Everybody in the top 1,200 deserves to be there. They qualify for the tournament. Not yet, Gengar. This month qualifies you for it as well. They dead. They block this and they die, right? They need, like, unsummon. Oh, they can have another jump blocker, sure. And for people, like, you have to be good at Magic to, like, end up in the top 1,200 on average. But, like, not making the top 1,200 doesn't mean you're not good at Magic. Like, the ladder is incredibly volatile, and ending up in the top part of the ladder is more about hitting a good streak of wins more than anything else. Got 3 creatures in here. They've got a bunch over here. We're going to grow these Scavenging Oozes up. So, Gecko, what you're doing there is being super results-based. It's very easy to look at a board and go, well, you lost to a sweeper and they were dead on board, so you shouldn't have played into the sweeper. In a very different world, or even in that same world, there's a very real chance that my opponent, in addition to their sweeper, also had spot removal in their hand, because again, a lot of the times these decks, the game theory optimal play that you're supposed to be making is going, okay, I'd hope you don't have it, make you have it. A lot of the time in Magic, you end up in positions where you're damned if you do and damned if you don't, and the game theory optimal play is to cross your fingers and hope they don't have it. I want to pull my curve down here a bit. Bring in these Brain Maggots for a little bit of disruption. Bring in this to stop their counterspells. It's a touch awkward. This only stops my green spells from not being countered, so it doesn't protect these 12. Helps Collected Company at least, though. Especially when you consider the fact that, like, in my opponent's control decks, like in the instance you're talking about where I played into a sweeper to beat a removal spell, their deck almost assuredly has more pieces of spot removal in it than it has sweepers, which is why it's frequently correct in these aggressive decks to play into the sweeper because they're less likely to have the sweeper than they are to have something else. Frequently, the game theory optimal play is make them have it. For that reason. I see it needs some lands, but if it hits them, it's okay. Yeah, maybe not. I guess the Pelt Collectors kind of suck. How much to play League of Legends? I'm taking variety game submissions for $50 plus the cost of the game. With the asterisk that I'm planning to only do 1 to 2 variety games per week. So just be aware of that. I'm going to elect to not tech into a flash 2-2 here. It's a good chance we're going to lose the race now because I didn't hit any lands here. Probably should have mulliganed this hand. League is free. It only costs sanity and hope in humanity. All of our black creatures here looking real awkward against what's almost assuredly a counterspell in hand, because this only protects our green cards. Guard yourself. Thank you for the 19 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Listen, chat, I grew up playing Counter-Strike in the early 2000s. Like, I've had a lot of vitriol spewed at me online. I'm an online content creator in the Magic the Gathering community. I'm something of an expert of having vitriol spewed in my approximate direction. Untapped land. Oh, I'm short. Oh, we're short. We're 1 point short. That's so sad. We're one point short. If I wouldn't have been scared on one of those turns, we would have won. If I wouldn't have had the fear in me. Shouldn't. And we let fear into our dojo, chat, and we lost because of it. Our dojo has been tainted forever. Is turn 2 Steel Leaf Champion good against the mono blue deck? Please vote in chat. Oh, it's much less good on the draw. I was about to say, I'm about to get Spell Pierce to be real salty. I was like, I'm about to get, like, alright. Nailed it. Yeah, I think this deck's probably fine. Like I said, I think against the sweeper decks, you're like, mostly like crossing your fingers and clenching your butt cheeks and hoping they don't have it. Occasionally you'll have Midnight Reaper and it'll be okay. Like, fast Steel Leaf Champions and Regisaurs off of Llanowar Elves is like a genuinely powerful thing to be doing, and Collected Company kind of helps you do that more consistently. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this was probably okay. I think if you're someone that's into just like beating people down, this is probably a fine choice, but I don't think this is something I'd play again. I don't know that I personally didn't find it particularly engaging, even if the power level of it felt fine, would be my ultimate takeaway at the end. So I think for a specific type of player, if this is like, if Big Green Idiots is your jam, I'd explore some more details around this, but if you're not explicitly into Big Green Idiots, I don't think the power level of what's going on here justifies playing it if you don't enjoy it. And honestly, that a good non-rotating format with a deep selection of decks, that's how it should be, right? Like in a well-balanced format with a big selection of archetypes, that takeaway should probably be the takeaway for most decks, where it's like, this deck is fine, and if you enjoy the play patterns of this deck, it's reasonably competitive, and you're gonna win some number of matches with it, and if you enjoy it, that's what matters. And honestly, it feels, that's often the takeaway of Runeterror, because their format has been really, really well sculpted. And I really hope that Historic is heading in the direction of that. Like, this is actually a good example, too, of like, you know, we played against Field of the Dead, and the matchup felt really bad, and we were like, okay, do we just like write it off as a bad matchup, or like, someone recommended this card? And like, as this card pool gets bigger, that's something you're able to do in these non-rotating formats where you get to go, okay, this is a problem that I'm having. Where can I reach into this card pool that has thousands of cards in it eventually and find a solution to my problem? And in this instance, we had one, right? Like the field matchup when we have Champion or Steel Leaf out felt okay. And that's how well-balanced, interesting formats with lots of deck building options should be. And in my opinion, that's something Magic does better than any other card game out there currently. Magic has 26 years of history to pull cards from, right? And honestly, it's one of the reasons why even as Historic grows up and Pioneer comes to this format, I am excited for Historic in general, because Historic is going to get to continue to pull in these sweet cards from Magic's history that they don't necessarily want to put back through Standard to get into formats like Pioneer and Modern. And I think there's going to be a ton of opportunity for this to quite possibly be one of the best constructed formats, best 60-card constructed formats in Magic because of that. All right, at any rate, that's going to wrap Magic for me for today. I'm ending